We have Igor and Ariana with us today, this evening, for the ending, the finishing of Inspirited. We're gonna do a very beautiful workshop called Yawning Our Way to Freedom. It sounds great. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to your workshop. Thank you for being with us. And so I give the word to you to introduce yourselves and tell us a bit more about you before we begin.
Okay.
Do we have to admit people?
No.
Okay,
Perfect.
perfect.
Okay. And we just give like that. What do you think? Does that work? Okay. I'll start to introduce myself shortly. My name is Igor. I'm originally from Holland. Followed love into many countries. Ended up now on Corfu. Since 11 years with Ariana, we've been touring together and making, like one person told me, you're just there to make people sing. And I take that on as a good goal, because I know for myself that singing has helped me stay alive, be fresh, be awake, and also diagnose when something is wrong and work with my stuff, with my energy. So I'm very happy to spend an hour and a half with all of you to be inspired and inspirited. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much. I'll give you the word for a moment.
I rather that we pass on to experience, but yeah, I can say that also for me, music saved my life in many ways. And when I started studying yoga 20 years ago and chanting mantras, I realized my voice was kind of blocked. And when I heard about overtone singing, and it was described as an inner massage, I definitely wanted to try it. And I tried first with an Italian teacher, and then I was lucky to meet Igor, and his way of sharing vibration and sound has been so interesting and helpful for me that we got married. And we love to sit in circle with people and to use every possible excuse to together practice taking out of our system whatever is blocking us or preventing us from expressing our truth. We use sound as a tool to relax ourselves and to make ourselves vibrate. And it's beautiful to be able to carry with us our instrument without having to pay extra on the airplane, because our main instrument comes along with our body and it's our voice. So we invite you to experiment with us and to feel whatever wants to show up, to let it flow, so that you may find new tools for you in your daily life to release, to vibrate, to find your energy back again.
So I feel that for myself, just because we're in a new situation with people that we can't really talk to, but that are listening and looking at us, I feel how my face gets a little bit tense, and I recognize how this is all part of the stuff that we want to work with. So maybe as a very first step, we can just sort of drop the whatever masks or whatever stories we carry in our face, because when we drop the jaw and we sort of like when you're really tired and everything is just duh, the muscles that usually keep a little smile, everything's okay, we can just and there's the sound that you're hearing from Mariana is actually one of our signature exercises, because when you give the sound of relaxation to your body, imagine there's millions and millions of cells that each have their own consciousness. Each one of them needs to be informed. We need to tell the whole body, it's okay, this is a relaxing moment, and it's ah. And the more we take this sound serious as one of our tools for being well in the moment, the better we'll feel. So let's do that a couple of times. Take a nice deep breath. Ah. And one more. Ah. And it's these simple and natural sounds that I've come back to again and again, more and more. And I'm seeing Mariana doing something that we're doing often too. So I'm going to do that together. It's the wax candle slowly melting. It's the hands with the heat and the magnetism going over the face and just letting the tension go. We're going downwards here. And also on the head, we can sort of give it a touch. We can also use our 10 fingers to give a bit of a rub on the scalp and on the back of the head. Already I feel how I get the goosebumps. And these are all beautiful natural reactions of the body.
I also feel that my breath, when we feel that our breath is high in the chest, if we do a couple of these sounds, it goes down to the belly, and it's from there that we can really find again our energy.
So there I see the need to take a little moment to recognize that we have a bus line that starts at first chakra at the base where we're sitting, and it goes on to the seventh, and we have like the apple shape of our thyroid. Our energy comes out of the head like a rainbow shower kind of image. And the breath, if we start following it and giving it a focus, it would be following it along the spine as we go up and down. So we just take 3 breaths. We try to connect to our spine while breathing. And we'll do that with breathing in and out through the nose, which connects us to the base.
If there is tension in the shoulders, we can, like the wax face, we can also imagine to have wax shoulders that with relaxation, they melt towards the back of the back. The back body is melting.
And if we want to go one image further, we can imagine that the breath goes up the spine at the back and then down the spine in the front. It makes some like an orbit, like a bicycle wheel. And then I want to take us along the bus line to the second bus stop. And we arrive in the belly. And to accompany an opening of the belly area, we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. We can feel our belly expanding as we breathe in and contracting as we breathe out. And our breath is different. We all have longer or shorter breath, also in different moments of the day, or depending who we have in front of us and what kind of situation. So the breath in the belly is for singing so essential. Of course, it starts from first chakra, but the second chakra is the place where we can collect energy and from where we can bring it up and out into the voice. So we'll do another couple of breaths to see if we can make the belly a little bit bigger and to really make it empty, empty, empty when we breathe out. And again, if you feel tension in your belly, this out breath through the lips can be very helpful to really like the way we do that naturally when something is a little bit much. Okay, so happy belly, and we reach the solar plexus, bus stop number 3. And this is the fire place. This is our inner sun. This is the spot from where all the nerves get the information of what comes from outside. And we are wanting to be careful with our fire and learn to deal with that. So we are breathing in from the mouth and out from the nose. Couple more. And so from earth, first chakra, to water, to fire, we reach the heart space and the element of air. This is our most open breath. And naturally from here, the yawn can arise. So give the yawning some space. None of you are visible, so allow yourself a nice open yawn without having to put your hand in front. It's a beginning of a public yawning. And we've been studying the yawn as a research project since quite a few years. And there is so much that you can learn about singing by discovering the way you yawn and how to sort of open that up. So we'll yawn a couple of 2-3 times more, and each time keep your eyes closed and have a look inside. What happens while you yawn?
What happens in your throat and your mouth?
In your brain, along your spine.
At the beginning, in many cultures, yawning like this is considered not polite. So many of us have to really let go of that conditioning and explore, see it as an experiment in this context. Then if we go back to the family and maybe in the family context it's not appropriate, we can go back to putting the hand. But when we explore singing, in order to really feel the effect, the more open, the better.
I realize I really love when you say singing. It's the Italian accent, but the sing, g, go, gong, gong. The throat is so involved in all of this. that when we start making sounds and knowing that our throat is part of it, we can start opening it up. So the yawn is a great beginning for singing because we already have the throat open while we yawn. And then from this yawn, we will start to make some sounds. So for me, yawning is now from a very high place, slowly coming all the way down. Maybe for you, it starts somewhere in the middle and it does go all the way down. So practice and see if you can open up a little bit more above, and if you can sort of stay with your breath all the way to the end of your breath.
Slide it down.
Yes. Okay. So. I recognize my eyes will start to tear. My head feels like a little bit buzzing. Energy is flowing down my spine. Some of the muscles in my face will, for a moment, stretch like a cat does and then relax. So, like you were saying before, there's this wonderful automatic release of tension of the body when we yawn. So we want to use that in the singing. And then whenever we're starting a sound, if a yawn comes up in the middle of it, to allow that to happen. Yawning in the next hour and a half will anyway come quite naturally because we will keep introducing it. So let's make a big yawn and use our hands. So, there's a beautiful combination to be made between body movement and sound, but we will introduce these things slowly. So first, let's go back to the throat and this, what are we doing when we yawn? So we are wanting to fake a yawn for a moment, just to feel if we manage to have the throat open up. So, and with that can come a sound which is very close to opposite. One more time. I feel the difference between just and it's my throat is actively being kept open, and I'm trying to find a middle way between tension, because there's this tension coming up with the yawn. You're using muscles to open up, and this feeling of relaxation that wants to come after that. So we are playing with two principles here: tension, contraction, and relaxation, expansion. And this observing what we're doing is maybe half the game, because whatever we see while doing it will make it change, will make it evolve, transform. So I would like to just take a moment to go from the highest note that we can make when we're in the yawn and slow down and really take our time to come down one time. So we take a deep breath, we relax, and the next breath we go. with each of the sounds that we make, with it comes a feeling, an energy, a movement of a flow in the body. Maybe you also get images or different shades of light. There's a lot happening when we turn on our sound. Maybe you didn't really connect yet your voice to your spine or to your body in general. So we'll do the same thing or similar, but with the mouth closed. So we can feel a little bit more what the vibration is, where it is, how it moves, where it touches, and where it stops vibrating. Okay, so again, a nice deep breath, relaxation, deep breath. We'll do two more. Nice yawn. Okay. Let's take a moment to massage our jaw a little bit, and we'll get to our throat as well. We'll start off in the point where when you move the jaw, you get a little bit of tension or maybe even some pain. Don't push too much. You have a lot of nerves and muscles here, but you can sort of check in, where is the pain. Don't go too deep in, but give it some stimulation. And we can also sort of bite on a carrot or maybe a bit of something a bit chewy while you have your fingers in there. So, and then we can grab the jaw itself, the bone, and sort of really give it a bit of a massage because there's so much tension around this whole area. We bring it down to the chin, and from the chin, we pull it out. You can keep yawning with this if you want.
Many times we are not aware of the tension that we carry. So the yawn is also part of the release process that happens naturally in the body. It helps us release the tension and this touching and exploring helps us become aware of where we have tension and maybe some pain.
Okay, then we're gonna give a bit of stimulus to the eyes because in these days we have so much computer time. The poor eyes, they get really tired. And we're gonna put the center of our palm, which has a minor chakra, with all the magnetism and heat and electricity in there. And we're gonna breathe in from the eyes. Yeah. And we can also take a moment for the ears. We start at the top. We just squeeze along the edge all the way down. big part of sound is listening. And in our story, it's feeling sound. So we're very, very much in what's happening inside while we're making sound. But without the ears, I don't know where we'd be. Probably looking a lot more. So with this feeling body, this big ear, this body ear, we want to continue with the exploration of our bust line, with continued conscious breathing, meaning that we know that we're breathing, but also how. So I just want to reach back to what we did before. The main 4 breaths that we just went through are part of a Sufi elemental breathing purification practice. So you would spend some time in the morning and breathe through your elements and purify them in that way. So just to keep connecting to these first 4 of the 7 chakras. First chakra, breathing in and out from the nose. Second chakra, breathing in from the nose, out from the mouth. Third chakra, breathing in from the mouth, out from the nose. Fourth chakra, breathing in and out from the mouth. Fifth chakra, our vocal cords, our voice, the expression of our creativity and our real seat of power of saying, let's construct this, let's destroy that, is constructed based on these first 4 elements. So without the feeling of freedom and openness and flow in these first 4, and of sort of having lost all the trauma and luggage that we've carried, our voice will always describe everything that we have in these first 4 chakras. So we can, while we're evolving and sort of transforming and cleaning this tube, we have to acknowledge that we have fishes swimming in this pond, that we have there is life in the jungle, and some of it is peaceful and some of it is really aggressive. And so again, sound is one of the ways that we can help clear our tube. So let's go into some sounding together. I would like to use my choir in a box, Shruti box. And we are just going to sing 1 note to start with. And from there, we'll develop some variations. I'm hoping not to get too complicated, because in simplicity is truth and connection. As long as we keep it simple, we can stay connected with it. So in this case, 1 note doesn't mean that you're limited in a way. It means that you get to really discover that note and see what happens when you sing in that tone. Where in your body are you in that tone? And how does it feel? Or what is the energy that comes through your sound when you open up like that?
I turn on the light, and there are two people in the waiting room. I don't know what. Maybe?
Okay. So yes, we have this beautiful possibility to focus on our inner world by turning on one tone. Of course, there's a lot more to singing than just ah. At the same time, um, there are teachers like Igor Reznikov that I did a couple of workshops with, who would spend an hour with us just ahing, almost only that. And I also connect back to reading of Essene practices of developing the milky or the healing tones, where the first year was ah, and the second year was ooh, and the third year was m, or something similar. And the amount of time that we can spend making sound without words will be time spent getting to know ourselves. It's really a beautiful practice. Doesn't have to be complicated. It can just, for example, be your own research into the 5 vowels, which is part of our practices to go into overtone singing. So the first step in making overtones is to get the order of your vowels in order. Ooh, for first 2 chakras. Ooh, we do a couple of those. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So if you want to connect with your belly and with the deepest part of you, the lowest part of you, this is the sound to go into. And from this ooh sound, which also in its symbol of the U shape, it connects to the well. We have a well inside our body. And sometimes it's empty, but breathing can help us fill it up. So from ooh, we go to oh, 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 oh. And then we're going a bit theatrical in it. We're a bit exaggerated. Oh! And of course, we're sliding down. We're taking this O sound all along the body. So you might have difficulty in positioning it as a solar plexus sound. But if you feel when you make that sound when somebody is, I don't know, you put your sandwich on the table and somebody else takes a bite from it and you go, oh, that's the contraction that's happening in your solar plexus there. It's clear, for me at least. So then the third one, if we construct, is ah. So ah, again, it's a beautiful symbol, but first we'll make the sound. So, for example, because I'm connected to the Sufism and which is connected to Islam, the Arabic word for God is Allah. And I love that choice of vowels because it's saying, ah, I'm in my heart, And then it's for a moment it goes ooh and sort of tickles the brain to come down to ah again. So when you look at the symbol of that letter, the the triangle, you see like that, the pyramid, it has an invisible part on top as well. So it's the same in our body. The ah is our heart chakra is number 4 out of 7. So it's the marketplace, it's central station. From here, we move. This is the part that guides, that drives the car. The head is the GPS and the maps and where are we going, what are we taking, and the whole conversations while we're driving. But at the same time, this yes and no that only the heart can tell us is so important. So the more ah we sing and the more ah we use when we make love or mm-hmm, uh-huh, the more we turn on our heart also with our sound, the more it amplifies the whole thing. So from ah, we go to a, to a, 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 we live in a valley, and if I go hey from outside our house, it goes across the valley, and I can feel how my body is sort of opening up with a. It's making space, and in the symbol of the 3-pronged fork that's going out of my throat, I am projecting out into the world. Then the last vowel, E, I can see it either as my spine and the dot as my head, or I can see it as my spine and the dot as my connection to the sun above me, which is connected to source, or even directly from me to source. No need for any priesthood. We are our own priest here, our own shaman, our own inner guidance, but to connect to the earth through the first chakra and to the sun through my 7th is a beautiful way of turning us into lamps, plus and minus, and we shine. So E, let's go from high to low. So just like with the yawn, we're doing a lot of studying of these vowels because each vowel is a world. Connected to it are, through these 5 vowels, when we start singing them slowly, we can come up with up to audible, if I'm not mistaken, 12 harmonics. Now, if you don't know what I mean with harmonics, let me just shortly show you what these 5 vowels can do. in this version of the use of the vowels, I'm changing the shape of my mouth and my throat according to the change of the vowels. There's a different harmonic coming. So from oo to o, we can start to hear our first harmonic. If we go wow, we get these vowels coming out with a harmonic at the same time. It's why they call it polyphonic singing also.
And the more that we are aware of the throat, and the yawning helps us be aware of the throat opening, the more we can use it while we sing the vowels.
So if we take this yawning back again, like Ariel is suggesting, we can try to oh. Last time.
We were slowly singing oo, o, a, doing it really slowly, keeping the throat open as in the yawning. Trying to adjust the light situation is changing. Thank you. The most important is to feel the effect of what we are doing. So in this moment of play, we can close our eyes and feel the movements that are happening inside because of what we just did. We keep a lot our eyes closed because we want to feel inside, to be addressing inside our observation.
So yes, in our throat, in a way, there is another mouth. And every time that there is something sad or angry or anxious that's happening, a natural tendency is to tense up the throat and close it up. Like, I don't want to do that, I'm sorry. This closing of the. So, what we're practicing here is to not be afraid of the emotions and close them up, but rather to really open the door for them to come out. So it will mean that all the emotions have more space. Like if you imagine that you leave a tiny space open, but you have a very fat cat. Every time it's going to squeeze through that door. So we do have fat cats in our belly and in our heart and in different parts in our body of memories of stuff. So when we oh it's immediately a song, it's immediately a loud noise, but it's coming out. It's no longer locked up inside our body. We're wanting to free. And it's singing our way to freedom. So a lot of this work happens in the shower, happens when you're on your own, when you're driving the car, slowly, or maybe waiting. Whenever you have space and you're on your own, it's wonderful to remember that you can always just go into the yawn, and from the yawn start a big sound. Now, I wanted to give a little bit more time in our in our sound of ha. And in the Sufi tradition, there are zikrs, which is a singing of mantras, which can be so beautiful for the opening of the heart. They are also purification acts, purification moments. And in this zikr that I would like to do with you, if you're here with that, we are just going to practice this opening of ah. And we can do a very simple movement with it if you want to, if you're comfortably sitting. That is also a part of this heart opening. We're giving it sort of a back and forth. Just gonna sing La ilaha illallah. And if you're not perfectly saying it the way I'm saying it, it's not a problem. La ilaha illallah gets translated as one of the translations as no. There is nothing which is not connected. We're all connected, whether we want it or not. Everything is connected. So when we open up, we can immediately feel this connection. Even though I don't hear you and I don't see you, I know that we're not alone right now and that we are in a circle. And when you sing, I know you will have my sound with you and Ariana's sound. So feel connected. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah, 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 la ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah, 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 la ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah, 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 la ilaha
come i mantra in sanscrito, anche i mantra della tradizione Sufi ci aiutano a guidare il respiro, a praticare il respiro e a purificare la mente. Quindi adesso, anche solo dopo pochi minuti, possiamo sentire, se abbiamo cantato un po' e respirato un po', come nel silenzio tutto è molto più calmo di quanto di prima di iniziare.
di riconoscere il ritmo in cui stiamo facendo le cose. Sorry, to going Italian. To recognize the rhythm in which we're doing the things we do. So if I'm breathing, something is happening, my breathing will go quicker. If I manage to stay with my breath, I can sort of guide my rhythm back to calm. If I've practiced this a little bit more, it becomes a natural. So for me, the introduction of continuous breathing, we have Rosa here with us, beautiful sweet cat, but she's needy, she wants attention. And so in this, what I started to call it like a circular breathing, similar to what we use in didgeridoo breathing, but more simple. It's I breathe in, and then when I'm full, I don't hold on, but immediately so it becomes a circle. There's no point where I'm holding or a point at the bottom where I'm dead and flat. It's all the time in movement. It's not the only breath to use, but it's definitely an interesting breath because it has helped me to be able to stay focused in a relaxed way, which means focus and relaxation, the male and female elements inside us at the same time. So slow breath in, I can use my hand to come up. And if you're sitting next to the sea, if you are hearing the waves, it's that same, it's coming and it's going. And there's a moment, it's coming, and there's this tiny little quiet moment before it falls back down. And it's similar to holding, but it's more like floating. So I'm breathing in and out. And this is such a beautiful softening of our experience. If there is something harsh happening, somebody is screaming, and I am able to keep my calm, soft, rounded breath, I will not be so influenced by the screaming person.
And during the day, there are many times that we don't even realize that we are not really breathing. So to tune into this breathing can help us re-oxygenate and re-educate our system to breathe.
And if it's only the fact that you forget to breathe and you remember again, that's enough. You don't even have to know how to breathe, but you have to know, you have to sort of bring your breath actively alive again. The how can come because you're attracted to one tradition or to one practice or another. Because if you do Qigong, your movement will be with your breath.
Yoga, and
if you're a musician, it will be with your music that the breath starts to connect. It's really about putting our finest part, the stuff that is invisible, to connect it with the visible and the material. So a strong in-breath a holding. Uh, all of these things are states of being. When I'm holding my breath, I'm in a certain space, a very specific one. Everything is. When I'm going, I'm like becoming an ocean. I'm becoming very, very wide. So for us, the fascination with how to breathe and yawning is for me like the beginning and the ending of that, because it's my body doing it. My body is taking care of how to do the yawn. I don't have to think how to yawn, but I can sort of massage it to open more, help it to stretch every now and then. Oh, and really be also very surprised by my own sound. I love to sing with other people and feel that there's a sound coming out that I don't know how it's going to be. So in that area of improvising music, I think I've become my own expert in not knowing. The expertise comes because I am trusting that something will come naturally, that I don't have to pull out of a hat or look into the book what it's called, or to read the notes of it. There's a basis of trust inside me that when it's time to speak, something will come. If it's time to sing, something will come. So on that note, I have a guitarlele with me. Actually, we have a lot of instruments here, but it's sort of a nice symbol for me because there are so many notes that I can make on this little guitar. But I feel most confident when I just have one going. Then my voice feels like, oh, I can go anywhere. It's all good. So the one note becomes like Mama is baking bread in the kitchen, and my 5-year-old inner boy is running out to play with the cats and to get some flowers. And at some point, I will start to smell the bread, and I want to come back in. In the same way, one note, and from that note, we go away to play outside to see where we can go. And then at some point, when the bread is ready, we come back into the note. Yeah. Mm. So in this space of improvisation, this this idea of going to the back to the mother, to going back into the house, to going back to the base notes, to going back to your own breathing. When stuff outside is happening, so much of the time it can really take us out of balance. And my own practice, if you call it, because it comes out of my own invention or my own need, this it's okay, whatever's happening, in the sense of center of the tornado. It's quiet. I was very attracted to one special Sufi teacher who looked like Father Christmas. And he was talking, when he was giving his seminars, it would be in 3 languages at once. He would speak in English, and then in French, and then in German. Sometimes it would be half a sentence in 3 languages, and then the other half of the sentence in 3 languages. And the wonderful thing that happened was that after a while of his talking, my brain fried. I couldn't listen or understand anything anymore. But I could start to just sit quietly while all of this was going on. I think also, if I go back a little bit more, me and my sister were sleeping like bunk beds, one on top of the other. And for a long time, every evening before going to sleep, she would ask, "Can you sing for me?" Because I had started to sort of and make little melodies for both of us to fall asleep with. And I always thought it's like I'm doing it without any real criticism. This is not about criticism to myself. It's not a beautiful sound. It's a beautiful sound. This is sound that we make to comfort and calm and center ourselves.
Children do it naturally, babies and children.
And then we think we become adults, but we're actually just becoming adulterated. We're not growing up in the sense of that our kid is coming up with us. So we have to do it now. Late, but better late than never. So we're growing up our inner child. Our inner child is also very anxious sometimes. It's scared, it's sad, and it reacts the way it can. We can learn and teach our child new ways of keeping calm, which are actually very familiar to our kids, our inner children, very familiar. It's like Ariana said, it comes naturally to us. I know so many people who, when I start doing the exercises, they say, yeah, when I was a kid, I was always doing that.
Then for some reason we stop, because from the outside, we believe when they tell us, you don't have a good voice, you're not in tune, stop it. And yeah, maybe we may take some time singing alone. We don't do it as a performance, but we do it to feel the effect and the benefit of the vibration inside of our body and all the cells that vibrate and the tension that gets released and maybe emotions that come up and find a way out of our system.
It's very funny because I'm talking about staying calm, and meanwhile we have 3 cats that are fighting with each other and running around, and it's a perfect example of how to not lose your focus and keep your calm and not lose the thread. So let's take another yawning moment. And I want to in this yawn, I would like you to imagine that you are a famous opera singer. You studied for 45 years. You're at the you're at the peak of your career, and you're under the shower. So it's you've got hot water on your back. Everything is just perfect, and you have this fantastic big organ of vocal cords, and all you know everything. There's nothing to study, and we just open up into any note that comes up, and we can't hear your notes, and we're not going to give a note to your notes, so it's all good. We just take a few yawns that are feeling free. Okay. 1, 2, 3. A bit of stretching. And we feel that for a moment. It's so interesting, I find, to feel inside how much, at least to me, there is reactions in my body to the simple things that we've been doing so far. Like we're 1 hour 15 in, and I can feel a few parts that are still like doing some me, but a lot of my there's more quiet. I feel a little bit of need of, yes, but there's a workshop, I need to offer something, something needs to happen, we need to be active. At the same time, the purpose of the stuff we do is this deep relaxation. So
I had a big
yeah,
when we started. Now it's practically zero.
yeah.
I'm curious if people want to leave in the chat some words if how you feel. You can write in the chat, and we try to read.
That's a good idea. Because then we can also see if there's some need that we can fulfill, or if we are. Is it possible for people to write in the chat?
Yeah, if anybody feels like sharing. Like me, I'm impressed because I rarely have headache, and to feel that in 1 hour it's almost zero now. It's really powerful. Simple, simple, effective. Very nice energy, good vibes. Thank you.
I'm also amazed by when I work on relaxing myself, I start to have more energy. When I'm working to pushing myself, of course I lose energy. It was awesome. Well, I'm glad. And I would add, it is awesome because it's going to work in you in the next hours too. It's not gone when you turn off the computer.
Yeah,
So,
and just because we're talking about the post effects, drink a lot of water in the next hours so you can, because although it's very simple practice that we are sharing, it's a very effective. So we are moving a lot of stuff inside, and drinking water helps us facilitate the release of whatever we are ready to let go. And yes, as Naya, I hope I pronounce it correctly, the sense of time when we do this kind of practice, the time kind of disappears and we expand time. So for anybody stressed with time, it's also a very good break out of the routine and of the too much to do.
and really, it doesn't matter in which tone, it's the quality and the things you feel in that tone or while you're toning. There's so many levels that we can listen to. We can listen to the body, which is already 1,001 things happening. We can listen to our breath. We can listen to the intensity of our sound and how much we are able to sort of let it out. We can listen to the movement, the subtle movement of our energy in our brain and as it goes down our spine. We can also, while toning, feel the place we're in. Wherever we are has its own energy, and what is that? And how am I interacting with it? We can also listen to somebody talking and listen in our own body to feel where is it vibrating? How does it make me feel? Am I still able to breathe? How much space is there for both of us to speak? Are we talking into the middle, or am I talking into the body of the other person, not leaving much space? And all of these things, there's so much to discover here. I wanted to do a last singing bit to finish with some more vibe, you agree? And I would like to, in this one, to go a little bit more into our inner native, in our, what happens when there's an ongoing beat and a more of a shaking kind of sound. See what comes up.
If you're tired of sitting, you can also stand up and shake a bit. Belly.
I am really wishing to transport you all here for at least a few days of singing together. We have beautiful programs here on Corfu this summer. I hope at least some of you manage to come through. Our website, Ariana is writing it now, is very simple to remember, feeling sound. Our work is, of course, like most of us, now part-time online. So we also do sessions, both of us, and you can connect to us in different ways. We're on Facebook, of course, and we have
Another cat?
we have in Arillas quite an incredible community. We have a lot of beautiful people here, and a lot of things happening. So I'm hoping also that some of the festivals that are set up here, Agapisoi from Berlin with combination of Greek and German and English programs. We have some of our retreats, if Greek people trust themselves to work with us, and then we'll have also a possibility to have Greek translation. Short promo time only. I don't want to talk a lot about this, because if you're called, you will find us. I want to thank the spirit of Spirited.
Thank you so much, Igor and Ariana. Thank you for being with us and for trusting in Spirited. Which is it's just starting. You're at the last workshop, and thank you. I really like the singing and the sound and the effect it has on us in all parts of our body, mind, and spirit. So yes, your workshops, you can also send me to put them on the website, like on your name. I can also add any festivals you'll be attending, workshops you'll be doing, so people can look it up.
Wonderful.
I can also post them on the group. Sorry.
Wonderful.
Yeah, because these things are important to share, and yeah, we're all here to connect and to share the beauty of beautiful practices.
And remember, simple is very effective. So the next time, and you find yourself in front of someone who is tense or anxious, remember the simple. I tried it in many different occasions, and really, we bring people down in the belly, more in the body, from the mind and the anxiety. So it's simple tools.
Absolutely. Very simple things can really have a very powerful effect. And I was thinking, I did part of your session. I couldn't do the whole session, but I am just starting to sing lately, and it is changing my life. And that's why I really wanted to have singing in this weekend. And I was thinking, because I do dancing and breathing exercises very much, to add in my personal practice the yawning and the sound, because the vibration from the voice, I feel it has an effect on the whole body.
And the vowels are your allies. Yes. The vowels. In some languages, they were secret. Yeah. The vowels, they have a big power. So
the vowels, you say?
Yes. U, O, A, E, I, explore.
Yeah, it's like a frequency that you vibrate throughout your whole body. And I really enjoyed what you said about the throat, because we express through our voice, but we don't realize that sort of emotions are kept in the throat. And when we just take sounds out, it can sort of take out our bottled energy, sort of, yeah.
Release. It's a big release.
Yeah.
We allow.
Important things to know. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry for the imperfection of the light, the cats, but thank you very much for staying with us.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real.
Keep it real.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.